When Queen Nala sabotages her son's wedding, she never expects her silent daughter-in-law to strike back with a revenge so perfect it shocks the entire kingdom. In the golden savanna lands of Akemba, Queen Nala sat alone in her chamber, tracing the cold grooves of her ivory throne. At 52, she remained striking, high cheekbones dusted with ochre, lips stained with berry wine, but her eyes held a bitterness no cosmetic could mask. Her marriage to King Jabari had been one of duty, not love. 23 years of watching him lavish affection on his younger wives while she bore the weight of rulership alone. Only her son, Prince Haik, brought her joy. She demolded him like clay since birth, choosing his tutors, his friends, even the embroidery on his robes. But now, at 25, he dared defy her. That morning, he announced his intention to marry Adaiz, a quiet weaveress daughter from the outer villages. She's kind. Mother, he pleaded. Nala's jeweled fingers clenched. Kindness meant weakness. A queen needed steel. That night, as fireflies danced beyond her window, Nala summoned her most trusted maid. Bring me Adaiz's family records, she whispered. The maid returned with troubling news. Adaiz's mother had died in childbirth, her father in a border skirmish. An orphan, Nala murmured, a plan crystallizing. She called Haik to her chambers at dawn. This girl, she carries death in her lineage. Nala said, voice trembling with practiced grief. Marry her, and you curse our bloodline. Haik palmed his mother's hands. I thought you'd understand loss. His words cut deeper than any blade, for in that moment, Nala realized her son saw through her, and that made Adaiz more dangerous than ever. Prince Haik defied his mother's warnings, meeting Adaiz in secret beneath the baobab trees where fireflies lit their stolen moments. My mother fears you, he confessed one evening, tracing the intricate tribal marks on Adaiz's cheeks. She thinks you'll steal me away. Adaiz lowered her eyes, her calloused hands, weaver's hands, nodding nervously in her lap. A mother's love is a fierce wind, she said softly. It can either lift you up or tear your roots from the earth. Meanwhile, Nala orchestrated her counterattack. She invited daughters of noble families to court girls with polished laughter and political connections. At a harvest feast, she seated Haik between Chief Holua's twin daughters, their gold bracelets linking as they served him spiced wine. But Haik's gaze kept drifting to where Adaiz stood humbly by the kitchen tents, grinding cassava with other village girls. That night, Nala intercepted a love note. Meet me where the river kisses the rocks. Her hand shook as she burned the papyrus in her oil lamp. The next morning, she confronted Adaiz publicly in the marketplace. You think you can trap my son with your peasant charms? Nala hissed, drawing stares from vendors. Adaiz simply bowed her head. I trap nothing, great queen. Love chooses its own path. The crowd murmured approvingly at her grace. Nala's cheeks burned hotter than the midday sun. This quiet girl was outplaying her and worse, making her look cruel in the eyes of her people. On the eve of the wedding, Queen Nala performed her masterstroke. Summoning Adaiz to the palace, she presented a magnificent wedding robe silk dyed with indigo, threaded with pure gold, a peace offering, Nala declared, forcing tears into her eyes. Adaiz hesitated, then accepted with a quiet thank you, mother. That night, as the palace slept, Nala crept to the bridal chambers. She watched through the crack in the door as Adaiz donned the gown and immediately began scratching at her arms. The fabric had been treated with baziche powder, a vicious irritant used to punish thieves. But Adaiz made no sound. She simply removed the robe, folded it meticulously, and placed it in a cedar chest. The next morning, Nala arrived early, expecting hysterics. Instead, she found Adaiz weaving at her loom, her simple linen dress spotless. The gown was uncomfortable. Adaiz said mildly, I thought it better to honor your kindness by preserving it. Haik entered, beaming at his bride's humility. Nala's nails dug into her palms. Her plan had failed, but worse, Adaiz's restraint made her own pettiness glaringly obvious. As the wedding drums began, Nala realized with dawning horror she'd underestimated this quiet girl at every turn. 3 moons after the wedding, Queen Nala's bitterness festered like an untreated wound. One sleepless night, she wandered to the palace gardens only to find Adaiz sitting alone by the reflecting pool, humming an old lullaby. Old and tea sleep either, Nala snapped. Adaiz gestured to a bench. The baby kicks. She likes the water song. Nala froze. Adaiz nodded, placing Nala's hand on her rounded belly. The queen jerked back as if burned. Why are you so kind to me? She demanded. After all I've done. Adaiz gazed at the stars. My mother died birthing me. All I have of her is this song. She began to sing the same melody Nala had sung to Haik as a child. Nala's knees buckled. She collapsed onto the bench, decades of loneliness spilling out the barren nights. The keenest neglect, the terror of losing her only joy. Haik. You think I am a monster, Nala whispered. Adaiz clasped her hand. No, just a woman who forgot her own strength. Doesn't depend on controlling others. Dawn broke with Nala's quiet sob, the first genuine emotion she'd shown in years. When Adaiz's labor pains began during the rainy season, Queen Nala surprised everyone by dismissing the midwives. I'll deliver this child myself, she declared. For 12 hours, she coached Adaiz through each contraction, wiping her brow with lavender cloths. As the first cry rang out, Nala placed her granddaughter on Adesa's chest, then did something unprecedented. She removed her royal necklaces, the symbols of her power, and draped them around Adez. "You've taught me true queenship," Nala said, voice thick. The next morning, the kingdom gathered for the naming ceremony. Instead of hosting from her throne, Nala joined Adez and Hike on the dancing ground. When drummers struck up the grandmother's rhythm, Nala stiff-backed. Proper Nala began to dance. The crowd gasped as she spun, her laughter mingling with Adez's. Later, as fireflies emerged, Nala found Adez breastfeeding under the baobab tree. "She'll need a strong name," Nala mused. "How about Nala?" Adez smiled. "Only if we add Adez." And so the child became Naut Adez, a living bridge between past and future. Proof that even the deepest wounds can heal when met with grace.